What's up, guys? This is K&M Live, back in here again today. Today we have a interesting video, I guess you could say, about casual sayings, right? We have a lady here. She's gonna give her opinion about. Just from the title, I'm assuming that she's against that type of behavior or type of activity, and she's gonna get into some reasons why she is against it. But just a quick opinion on that is that hookup culture is becoming like a dying thing. So I could see a lot of people being against it today, especially with cities like Houston and Atlanta. Yeah, people out there taking L's, but let's stop wasting time. Let's get into it.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Shariel if you're new, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Because of our lifestyles nowadays,
Coachella,
culture that's
really.
being pushed, and what some call an agenda, we have become desensitized to sex, especially in America. We are bombarded by sex and sexually charged content on every single level, whether you open your phone to go to social media, whether you watch a movie, a TV show, music. A lot of things are sexually centered and charged, and it's affected us to the point where we think this act is no longer sacred. It doesn't matter. It's an exchange for both parties or just one party to enjoy themselves. And I 100% disagree with that. And I truly know that sex is not casual. This is part 1, and I have 4 points in this video that I'll get into after my intro. As human beings, we're naturally intrigued and excited about intercourse. I'm going to call it that from now on because, YouTube is sensitive about certain words. It's enticing, it's a dangerous aspect to it, and, people just want to have fun. And I totally get it. We're honestly made to do it, but under certain circumstances, and that's what I believe. I don't believe you're supposed to just be willy-nilly all around town. But like I said in my intro, when you open your...
Hold on. I got you. All right, let's keep going.
Your phone, what do you see? You see content centered around this. A lot of streamers and content creators are making videos centered around rizzing somebody up and, getting them to be with you later on in the night.
Nice to meet you. I'm Key.
Key. All right, so I get a handshake.
This is possibly the worst example possible.
You could have all the other dudes get a video. You picked that one. I was like,
What you trying to try?
You. I'm trying to try you.
You. First time?
Yeah.
You gotta go.
You ready? Come on. Wait.
No.
Wait. I feel like this is too fast. Let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people exchange stories with their coworkers about their hookups, and a lot of us have group chats, whether it's with the guys or with the girls, about who we're dealing with and even sending pictures. And that's where I want to talk about the real aspect of this act, because it will change your life, and a lot of the times not for the better. The first reason why it's not casual is because it can cause addiction. Like I said, because this has been normalized, porn isn't taboo. Back in the day, people used to have the magazines and had their little stash spot, or they had DVDs or whatever, or you watch it secretly on your phone. But now it's so out in the open. Women openly talk about that they watch it. Men talk about it with their friends. What's their favorite site? Who's their favorite porn star? And especially with OF taking over in 2020, even though it's dwindled down, it's still very common to just show your body for money or just watch other people's bodies and what they're doing with it. People don't realize the effect that porn has on your brain.
Vincent asks, why is pornography bad?
Oof, why is bad? You are getting false dopamine hits, like working out, that's a dopamine hit.
Right.
Making love to your spouse, that's a good dopamine hit, right? Doing a hard day's work and feeling accomplished, that's a good dopamine hit. Watching secretly because you don't want to be found because you'll feel guilt and shame. And getting a dopamine hit, you're conditioning yourself to get dopamine out of negativity, negative things, number one. And number three, and this has recently been found in the last 12 months, there's something called induced erectile dysfunction. Now, young kids, teens, kids in their 20s and their 30s are unable to get an erection because they're so used to watching a porn scene that is so exaggerated, so over the top, that has released so much intense dopamines when you're watching the threesome.
Well, we don't need to watch the whole thing. I'm gonna just go to the next point because Robin Wills talked about that. Let me make it big real quick. So the long story short of it is that it gives you a dopamine rush, right? But you didn't actually do anything to earn it. And then not only that, it makes the people who's watching it, the person who's watching it, have this unrealistic perspective about intercourse. So it's kind of like it's bad because the things that they're watching is fake, but then they're thinking that, oh, this must be real. I'm hoping to get this. And then when they don't get it, it disappoints them. And then now you have lack of relationships and families being built. So yes, it does cause that kind of effect. And that's why I remember Ron Wills talked about, he said, be careful watching it because it's going to make you think you should get a certain type of woman. So it's not good in the long run because now when you see from a man's perspective, I'm not gonna, women watch it too, but from a man's perspective, it's going to make you think that woman on the camera is like a real or normal person. That's not real and that's not normal. Your average girl is not going to move like that or talk like that or act like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All that shit's in art, So there's that. But and also another thing I wanted to say that especially for guys, it kills our energy. So like the more you ejaculate like that, you're going to feel lazy, slumped. You're not going to want to go to work. You're not going to want to any activity. You just want to lay back and rest. And this stuff could have very, very severe effects on your life as far as addiction goes. So yeah, but we're gonna see her next point and go from there.
It's because they're having, people are sharing partners with a bunch of other people. They're fighting over men.
What he told me is that he told you he's with me. Do you understand that Peter has a family? I knew that Peter had a son.
How do you think that it's possible that we're living together as a roommate situation when you know that we have children?
I really feel bad. I feel guilty knowing what I know now that you're still with him like that. It's not just that we're each other. We love each other.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I know that he loves me. I can prove it. Let's see it. Give it here. Let's prove it.
You want me to tell you something? I'm his wife, and ain't nothing fake about that.
And some men will delete another man over a woman. It's happened a lot of times.
Insane, man.
And it's really scary because we just don't realize how much drama this brings when you're with somebody who's not your husband or your wife. And I get it. People get mad when you talk about marriage. But at the end of the day, if you're in a healthy marriage, a marriage where you're faithful, you don't have these issues. Being a
yeah, I'll save that for later. We got a lot to say on that.
sneaky link is now more.
It's not even about. The issue is not even about being healthy. It's about the fact that the scoreboard is not equal. But I'm gonna let her cook.
Popular than being in an actual committed relationship, and that's just a sad state that we're in. So many people act like they're unfazed. I don't need a title. I don't care what they're doing when they're not with me. But at the same time, you're stalking them on social media.
That's
when you
true.
guys are hanging out, you're looking over at their phone to make sure they're not texting any other girls or she's not dealing with other dudes. And when they walk away, you're looking in their phone and their DMs and trying to find any evidence if they're sleeping with somebody else. And that's how you know you are bothered and you do care, because this is not casual. You are becoming one. You are letting that person enter your body, or you're entering their body. And most of the time it affects women more. Most of the time it's women sharing the same baby daddy. Most of the time it's women competing.
you know, like tournament boards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
For the love of one man. Most of the time women look dumb because of who they're sleeping with, and that person is sleeping with a bunch of other women that is just causing all this drama. Not
All right. I'm gonna let you go first on that.
Yeah, she's right about, you know, women being affected by it more, because, you know, they put more emphasis on emotion aspect of it, and them showing a picture of Nick Cannon, like the list of females in there, like you said in the tournament board, is like, I got Rachel, Emma, Stacy, and Gwen. in my so-called baby mama roster. And no, and that within itself is like, it can cause a lot of friction, just due to, because the personalities between the women, and obviously women want to be the number one girl of the dude that they're very interested in it, and him having other women, especially if they haven't even agreed to it, it would cause a lot of friction and a lot of drama in that aspect. And I was gonna give it an ultimatum, whether it's gonna be her or them, and most likely you're gonna have to choose, especially if they wasn't in the confines of the idea that he's gonna have multiple women, and they all knew about it.
So I co-sign everything you said about that. The first thing I'm gonna say, I don't want to make it too complicated. They did a study in America, right? Most men between the ages of 18 and 30 are virgins, are not having sex. 80% of them, at least a whole bunch of them, are not. So this video don't even apply to most of the male population. That's number one. Number two, in the black community specifically, I think they say like what, 80% of the women reproduce, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So that means only 50% of the black men reproduce, 80% of the women do. Meaning that most women typically are gonna have a chance at birth. They're gonna have a chance to have a baby, whatever. Most dudes don't even get to have kids. So I don't like this disingenuous context, because most women are the ones having the sex. I mean, the intercourse. Excuse me. Scratch that out. Most of the women are having the intercourse with the top tier dudes. Now they're gonna be like, oh, that's a red pill talking point. That's a this, that's a that. That's not the case. That is the case. Most dudes can't get sex. Most dudes are not getting intercourse. And then you want to talk about marriage. Now, you got an average guy who's 30 years old. He's a millionaire now. He worked on himself. He got the money, but he hasn't had intercourse. Now he has a plethora of women to choose from, right? All of them are non-virgins, got bags, got all this stuff going on. Where's he gonna find the girl that's actually equally yoked with him physically? That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I say this marriage conversation, I don't like it, because both partners have to be equally yoked physically. You can't be some chick that was ran through and think you about to get a dude just because you went on a what they call it?
Celibacy.
Yeah, celibacy, born again. You already gave it up. It's already been affected in your mind. And semen actually lives in the vagina for years. So no, you can't just undo the act once you did it. I will say this, for the women that hold themselves to that, I applaud you. Look, I applaud you. But most women are not holding themselves to that. And most men, they can't get it by choice. I mean, not even by choice, because it's not their choice. They can't choose to not want to have you. Like they could choose not to. They could choose to be monk mode and not do it. But this applies only to the people actually doing it. And like I said before, most women are sleeping around. Most men are not. They're not even able to get it. Now, the dudes that do get it, they have soda box, loads of options they can choose from. Because y'all to the women, y'all all throwing themselves at the same guy. So why would he be celibate? Why would he wait for marriage? When literally Tasha, Chelsea, all these others, they all want the same dude. So I feel like this conversation is dumb, especially in the case that most men are not getting it like that. It's dumb because it's like, I get it. She's trying to say like, if you do it with outside of a marriage, it's still a problem. But I feel like they're not giving the aspect of who is the one getting the marriage though. It's like, you have to wait till marriage to get a woman who's already been used and abused. That don't sound like a fair deal to me. I don't care. You did 9 years
bro,
of
it doesn't matter what
celibacy.
she did in her past, bro. You're looking too much into it, bro.
Yo. No. Yeah, I had to get that off my chest, bro. Because I'm tired of hearing that, bro. It's just like, if most dudes were getting it the way they're talking like this, then I'd be like, okay, this is a fair conversation. But it's not a fair conversation. This conversation is strictly for y'all. Because y'all, as in women, y'all the ones that are able to, y'all are the gatekeepers to intercourse, right? So who's the one causing the issues? Is it the men or is it y'all? The dudes can't really choose. They just get what they can get. They get what they can get and keep with it. And then if they get married, by the time they marry you, you probably had a dude that you was already fixated on years ago. So that's another problem with too much exposure to intercourse, because now she's gonna get out, what they call it, alpha widow. I like that term. But basically she's gonna get stuck on one dude. She's gonna be like, I wish I had Tony, but Tony don't want her. And now she gets married to Brian, and unfortunately, Brian just now, popped his cherry, and now you're in this marriage with him, but you still missing Tony at night. So yes, I do believe that casual intercourse does affect them spiritually and emotionally. Yes, it does. But what I'm saying is it's mostly women that's affected by that. Most dudes are not affected by this. Now, what dudes are affected by, I will agree about the numbing effect. Like CGA talked about it when he talked about like our grandfathers, back in the day had to sneak around to get it. But now we could just pull up our Instagram and you see a girl twerking. So a woman showing us skin today as dudes, we don't see it as nothing special. Back then it was like, oh my God, she's showing her leg. When they used to put the leg on the road, like, it used to like turn dudes on. But now today it's like, bro, I could just pull up my phone and see that. Like, what's so special about it? So you're right. So essentially, it does desensitize us, but it affects us differently. It affects both genders in a different way. It makes men value women less, because now it's kind of like we see it. That's why I said social media is a blessing and a curse, because social media is showing us the things that men back then would never have known if it wasn't for social media. Like, dudes would never know about any of this, the crazy stuff that goes on behind the scenes, the crazy stuff that they do. So now that dudes see it, it's kind of like, why would I get married knowing that y'all getting ran through in college and then trying to say y'all celibate now and now you want to be married? That's 80% of a woman's story today. 80% of y'all are like that. Like, I think y'all can overturn the past and turn around and think like, oh, it don't matter. No, it does matter, because he didn't do that. So why should he be with you who's already experienced? And that's where the market has an issue, because now you have two unequally yoked people trying to make a family, and now it's causing an issue. So yes, the dudes are addicted to porn that never experienced it. Then you got the girls who've been out here getting ran through, and then now they running into each other, and it's friction. There's no balance in it. So
no lube in the mix, bro.
Yeah. So I had to get that off my chest, man. But We'll go to her next point. I think she's talking about pregnancy, right?
After they do it with somebody. I'm like, do you not know it's called procreation? Because you're creating a human being. Your body doesn't know you don't want to have a baby when you do it with someone. The body's on go. The stuff is coming out, it's reaching the egg, and then the egg develops. And with whatever choice you make, your life is changed forever once you get pregnant.
Leave them babies where they at. I don't care how good the Peter Whacker is. I don't care that he told you he gonna look out for you, because they be lying. And no, I'm not projecting. I'm living it. So let me save somebody before they make the same mistake I did. I don't care how good it is. If you know you're not in a place to have no children, don't do it. Get up. Matter of fact, stay celibate, because that's what I was doing. And as soon as I violated and breached my...
I've heard this story before.
Bruh. Where is it?
God damn!
Nah, bruh, look.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Ain't that what I just said
Boy,
earlier?
ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
That's literally what I just said
Boy, ain't
earlier.
no way, boy.
They selling
Boy, ain't
it,
no
right?
way, boy. Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
I'm telling you,
Ain't no
bruh.
way, boy.
Right, I'm telling you, bruh. No.
contract with myself, I got stuck. And love to leave the mamas alone with the babies and going about their life.
And a lot of the time, because we're in a society that is really not pro-marriage anymore, people are having kids with boyfriends they've only been with for a few months, people that don't really love them, or hookups and sneaky links. And this is causing single-parent households. This is causing broken homes. I can account for this because I come from a single-parent home. The sibling I grew up with under my mother's roof, we're very close, but the half siblings I have that we didn't grow up under the same roof, we're not close like that. And it's because it's hard to garner relationships when you're in different states or different cities and different households, and that's just not the way things are supposed to be. God designed it for us to be a family unit, not to be separated and have a bunch of different dads or different moms. And also, being pregnant by somebody who doesn't love you or care for you or isn't really with you is hard emotionally on the mother that's about to give birth. Pregnancy changes your hormones, it changes your body, it changes how things sit.
I will say this, that these points are very, very good points, but it you would think it'd be common sense to a lot of people, but some people it's not. Common sense is not so common. But I will agree that sometimes, people can't control themselves and they let their instincts drive them to make these kind of life-altering decisions, like having kids. This is where I think marriage is good, in my opinion. I just wish marriage was just more fair in this country as it used to be back in the day. Like with Kenya, right? The Kenya, they made that law where whatever each spouse came with, that's what they leave with. So if you came with nothing, you leave with nothing. And I feel like if that same law in Kenya that they just passed applied here in US, I feel like a lot more people would get married, because marriage is beyond the kids and the segs and all that. It's about assets. It's about all that other stuff that other people, very touchy subjects, people don't like to get involved in. So I just think, like, if there was a more balanced system in place that punishes people for this type of behavior, it would be a lot more.
Probably there would be a few less people to get married, because now they realize one side party is not gonna have the benefit of getting assets. Because now if you do it, now you're gonna know that once I get with this person, when I get with this person, I know that if we both go our separate ways, we're gonna leave what we had.
Yeah.
Nothing less, nothing more.
Yeah. Whatever you gave to and if y'all started a business together, whatever you contributed.
Yeah.
Whatever you contributed.
Split down in the middle.
It splits that.
If you guys had a house in your name, either you guys obviously sell it, or you guys rent it to other people. You guys will split the money.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing. Is just like that's the reason why a lot of dudes say they don't want to get married, because there's just too much risk. There's just too much BS, and they're like, no, you just gotta find the right one, bro. Even if you do find the right one, that don't mean they can't turn into the wrong one. In a few years, people change like that. Like they could have been the right one 2 years ago, and now they the worst person you ever met 8 years later now. You know what I'm saying? So
Tyrese.
yo.
Speaking of which, well, I know this is off topic, but apparently I heard allegedly he's in jail.
Tyrese? For what?
About not paying the child support.
Wow. Yeah, well, exactly. Exactly why casual intercourse. Well, they were married, but casual intercourse is not the way. Yeah, I do agree. Having those multiple households do affect you, but the reason why a lot of these things are developing the way it is because I said this before. I do agree with other philosophers, other guys talk about this. Men ain't really changed. Men are just now starting to change. Women are the ones that have changed. The reason why they're accepting this type of environment is the freedom that they have. It's like, oh, I don't have to feel obligated to be with this man. I could just have his kid, take it from him when he does something I don't like, and go to the government and they'll give me a check. This is the part of the conversation that they leave out. Oh, I'm gonna have a kid to keep him. Like, I'm gonna keep him by locking him down.
Yeah, all that's gonna cause is resentment.
And it's just like, so at this point, the law is supporting evil behavior. Like, I truly feel like the law supports, evil behavior like that. So as much as I want to say, like, yeah, it's messed up if the dude just leaves or says whatever the case is, but that's usually not the case a lot of the times. A lot of the times, the girl knew who he was, but yet still decided to pop a baby out for him because she found him attractive, because he was whatever he was to her. It was enough for her to want to pop out a baby for him. And yes, this does affect her, because hopefully she got her family, like, her family can support her through her pregnancy and all that. But I've seen I'm surrounded by people like this. So I know the BS when I see it. It's like a lot of people just, like I said, they're abusing the freedom that we have in this country, because we have so much freedom to do BS, and the law kind of protects us in some ways. They're starting to change it now, but a couple years ago, these things were just free reign and you could just get away with it and it wouldn't be an issue. So there's that aspect. Let me get to her last aspect about the hardship. But she made some good points. I ain't gonna lie.
Good indeed.
In general, but I'll first touch upon, if you have a child, the hardships that can create. We all know when you have a child, the expenses just go up. You have many things that you need to cover, whether it's with another partner helping or you're by yourself. And in this economy and the way things are going, this is very hard to deal with, especially if you casually lay down with someone and thought it wasn't a big deal, and now your life has been turned upside down. I know women that have 2 to 3 jobs, working all types of shifts, and they're still barely making it to take care of their children. And not just to mention women, but if you're a young man and you got somebody pregnant, now there's hardship, because some men feel guilty, like they need to stay with the girl even if they're not attracted to her, but they don't want, or they were never really with her, but now that the kid is in the picture, they feel they need to stay together. I see a lot of people that are faking the funk, staying together, living together for the kid, and that's just never good, because at the end of the day, it's your life, so you need to choose you. Of course, choose your child, but you need to be happy. And when your kid gets older, kids can tell when their parents don't really love each other and they're not into each other, and that's going to affect your child's view of being with somebody. They may think it's not really.
Man, at this point, man, look, I used to think that way back then too, but I had to realize, man, look, you're gonna see messed up relationships. I don't care what kind of household you come from. You're still gonna see messed up relationships. Look at us. We came from 2-parent households, And what? We're surrounded by folks with messed up families, right? Mine included. So it's just like trying to shield your children away from harsh realities of life. I feel like weakens them, because now they're so zookeep sheltered that when they see the real world, they have an idealistic mindset that these people are surviving. These people are not even close to thinking the way you do. It's great to have it, but you have to also, so it's like you have to give your kid the ability to be street smart and book smart.
You gotta see the good and the bad.
Yeah, you have to give them both, because if they don't get exposed to both, when one side meets the other, it's like it's a shocking reality that can make people go crazy. That can make people suicidal. That could cause depression. It could do a lot of things. But I feel like if you're used to it and you understand it, it don't affect you as much. It shouldn't, right? It's the same thing with, sports. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it. So I feel like these type of emotionally charged situations have to be experienced in order for you to understand yourself and how to operate within that those type of functions.
Possible, so they shouldn't even try. Not only are you heartbroken when you don't have help with your child, but you can just be heartbroken because you're sleeping with all these people, especially when it comes to us ladies. We sleep with men sometimes to feel loved, to get attention, and the more people you sleep with, the more you're giving of yourself, and that can create heartbreak once you're ghosted, you're ignored, you're only hit up for certain things, and you're not wifed up, nobody really wants to be with you. That does create heartbreak, whether people want to admit it or not. And you start getting older and you're like, will I ever get married? And you turn into a one-trick pony to where you're doing all these tricks and flips and hanging from chandeliers, and the men still leave. And one of the biggest things that I see hardship-wise with people that casually do this act is they veer off from achieving their goals. A lot of people think you have all this time in the world to be who you want to be and achieve what you want to achieve, but it's not true. There truly is a window of opportunity, and that window can close on you if you're distracted because you're trying to get in between somebody's legs, especially for the men, because your testosterone's through the roof. So if you're getting some all the time and you love it there, you might not finish your CDL license on time, your real estate license on time. You may be slow to doing your studies, so your GPA is getting affected in high school or college. It can just be a huge distraction. If you're an athlete, male or female, you can be distracted from training because you're always on your back or have somebody else on their back. It's not good. A lot of people are distracted because they're doing this.
I agree. That's why they talk about semen retention, monk mode, and celibacy for women. I guess, like these things do bring you back that focus that you need. You know what I'm saying? Keep the semen in. You know what I'm saying? That semen keeps you strong, especially for us dudes. It has a super effect on us. So she's absolutely correct. I think she kind of pointed out things for the most part. Only thing I would insert, I'm pretty sure she said it, but I'm gonna insert it. Most likely she's gonna talk about STDs, because that's a big part of this conversation. Huge part of this conversation. Because yes, you will catch something if you keep running around the streets, running around with the alley cats. You're gonna get something. So
you leaving here with something.
Yeah, you leaving with something. But yeah, like I said, she made some good points. I just think that, like I said before, the answer to this issue we're having, we do have to stop sexualizing everything. And then also we have to create laws that put people in their place when they decide to do something crazy like that. A lot of people run around here unchecked because who's gonna stop them? Not the law, right? Not the government. They're just gonna allow it because they get a check off you, prisoners and destruction of society. They benefit when families are destroyed and all that. They benefit more off that than when y'all stand together and make policies and create towns, and they don't want to see that. They'd rather see you guys rely on them, because then that's more slaves that they can, run the country with. Yeah. So it takes a conscious effort of the people to make that choice to be like, you know what, we gotta stop BSing around here. Only a few people are gonna hear this, and it's gonna go one ear and out the other. But I hope it does reach a lot of people, and I hope that, you know, a lot of people start respecting the fact that, you know, yeah, you could sleep with this person, but at the end of the day, just know that it can have an effect on both of you in some kind of way. So going in there knowing that, and, you know, I feel like that's where the conversation needs to be had with both parties. As long as I feel like both parties are aware of what they're doing and not just caught off guard, and or being lied to, oh, I'm gonna be with you, get her pregnant and run, you know, block and run. Or, you know, yeah, I'm a sweet girl, I'll stay with you, let's get married. Divorce 2 years later, take your shit, you know what I'm saying? I feel like more people were honest about their intentions and stuff like that, or more fair about, you could disagree or not like each other anymore, but I feel like they want to hurt the other person, and then this is where it creates chaos. If we understood how to be fair with each other, even in disagreements or in conflict, if there was like a more balanced perspective on it, I feel like these situations wouldn't get out of hand that badly as they do. You know, that's what I gotta say.
So yeah, I really think she made very great points. I'm not gonna, you know, extend this video too long, but I want to say, you know, she did a very good job explaining herself in the video. You know, we probably will watch part 2, or just probably look at it on our off time just to see what else she has to say. But overall, if you guys like the video, tell us what you guys think in the comment section down below. So once again, we appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you haven't already. If you want to give us any suggestions or ideas, you can hit us up in our social media and or email down below. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.